Okay, let's unpack this. We got requests to do a deep dive on weight loss, but from a really different angle.
Right. Not just the usual stuff.
Exactly. You wanted us to focus on Dan Hollis's perspective, which
Hmm.
is pretty profound, I think.
Oh, definitely.
So we're not just talking calories today, or even just the medications like semaglutide on their own.
No.
Our mission here is to explore his insights, how they offer this new view, especially with these new tools, by really focusing on the emotional shifts, the identity stuff that often gets missed.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating looking at the source material is how much it challenges that standard story.
Which is
Well, the whole just try harder willpower narrative, Dan Hollis points towards something much deeper, more personal.
like a journey.
Exactly. He suggests that tackling weight loss, especially if you're using something like semaglutide, it's actually this chance for a total inner transformation.
That really grabs you, doesn't it?
Hmm.
His core idea, as he puts it, it's not about the mechanics, the diet, the drug. It's about how to listen to the silence.
Mm,
And when you think about that, for people who've used food as comfort, maybe felt it was always there, like a co-pilot,
a constant voice, yeah.
right? Semaglutide can quiet that voice down.
Yeah.
But, okay, what does that silence actually mean for someone going through it?
It's huge. It's a massive shift. And Dan Hollis says something really powerful here. The real work begins when the cravings stop. That's when the truth shows up.
The truth. Okay.
Yeah, because when food isn't the main thing on your mind anymore, this space opens up. Sometimes it feels like a void, honestly. Can be uncomfortable,
I can imagine.
but that's not the problem, you see. According to Hollis, that's the fertile ground. That's where the real self-discovery can finally start. You start to figure out what else you might have been, quieting down with food.
So if that's where the work begins, then why do so many people still struggle or feel like they've failed even with tools that biologically are working?
Well, Dan's take is pretty clear on this. He says it's not usually because the medications stop working. It's because they haven't rewritten the rituals that define their identity.
Wow. So he's completely redefining weight loss itself.
Totally. He says it's not chasing a number. It's about building a life where food isn't your only coping tool.
Really?
That's a major reframing, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and it ties right into that other key idea from him.
The connection piece.
Yeah, you didn't lose control, you lost connection. Connection to hunger cues, purpose, yourself. That's what we help you rebuild.
And that just flips the script, doesn't it? It moves away from blame, from thinking, I don't have enough willpower, towards, okay, how do I rebuild this connection? How do I find that internal compass again?
Yeah, focusing on rebuilding connection instead of blaming lost control. That's powerful. And it sets us up perfectly to talk about how something like semaglutide fits in.
Right, because it seems purely biological on the surface.
Exactly. You probably know it as Ozempic or Wegovy. It's a GLP-1 receptor agonist. Originally for type 2 diabetes, but obviously huge for weight loss now. But maybe just quickly, for listeners not deep in the science, what does that GLP-1 thing actually do? How does it create this pause Dan Hollis talks about?
Sure. So basically, it mimics a hormone your gut naturally releases. It tells your brain you're full, makes your stomach empty slower,
Okay.
and it can even make certain foods feel less rewarding. So it's hitting multiple spots to dial down those constant food thoughts and the physical urge to eat.
Got it.
But crucially, Dan Hollis is clear. It's not a fix. It doesn't magically solve the underlying emotional stuff. He calls it a pause, a breather, a reset.
A biological pause.
Exactly. A biological pause that lets you finally ask, what am I actually hungry for? And when food, which maybe acted like emotional scaffolding,
Folding, like holding things up.
yeah, propping you up, helping manage tough feelings, when that gets pulled away because the cravings are gone, people can feel really exposed.
That sounds difficult.
It can be. But Dan argues that discomfort isn't a bug. It's a feature. It's part of the work. It's the moment you actually face what you were maybe using food to avoid.
That really cuts against the whole medication is cheating idea you sometimes hear.
Right. And Dan tackles that head on. He says, semaglutide isn't cheating, it's adaptation. The real cheat is pretending willpower was enough.
Like we've been using the wrong tools or an incomplete set.
That's exactly it. He argues the real power of semaglutide isn't just the weight loss itself, it's the time it gives you.
Time.
Time to reflect, reset, rewire. It opens this vital window, this mental space, free from the constant noise of cravings, where you can actually do that deeper work.
Okay, so if it's not just biology, we need to go deeper into this emotional hunger idea.
Yeah.
Dan Hollis really reframes it, doesn't he? It's not just your stomach rumbling.
No, it's much more layered. He has this amazing definition. Emotional hunger sounds like a craving, but it's actually a question, a need asking to be seen.
A question. What kind of questions? Or what needs tend to pop up when that physical craving noise goes down?
Ugh, that's where it gets really interesting. Once the drug dials down the physical static, the emotional stuff often gets louder.
Like what?
You might notice that what felt like this desperate need for chips was actually loneliness, or that constant urge to snack was boredom, or anxiety, or even sometimes just a need to mark a moment of joy, you know?
Right. Food gets tangled up in everything.
Totally. And Dan's framework helps people untangle it. He talks about separating signal confusion, that mix up where your brain reads an emotional signal as eat now.
So how do you separate it?
He teaches people to first just observe the craving, not instantly obey it, then decode it. Ask, okay, what's really going on here? What does this hunger truly mean?
And he connects this to identity, right? This idea of
Okay.
identity disconnection.
Yes. He suggests that often this emotional hunger is a symptom that we've lost touch with who we really are or what truly nourishes us, not just physically. Food becomes a stand-in.
Filling a non-physical void.
Exactly. Which leads to another really powerful concept from him. You don't hold on to weight loss with discipline. You hold on to it with alignment,
Alignment.
meaning it shifts the whole game away from just gritting your teeth and following rules towards finding internal congruence, making choices that actually line up with your values, who you want to be.
So it's about
It's about replacing the story, not just the snack. You're fundamentally changing your life's narrative, not just tweaking your diet.
that's a profound way to look at it. But let's be real. Setbacks happen. Anyone trying to lose weight knows this, even with great tools. It can be really disheartening. How does Dan Hollis talk about navigating that?
He totally reframes setbacks too. He says, most people don't relapse into hunger. They relapse into confusion.
Confusion, not failure.
Right. He sees them not as signs you're lazy or failing, but as predictable signals. Your body and brain are maybe recalibrating, testing the new normal. It's information, not a verdict.
He uses that analogy, the spiral staircase, right?
Yeah, exactly. Feels like you're going in circles sometimes, but you're actually still climbing. And he warns against the quick fix mentality too. Fast results don't mean lasting results. Pacing is protection.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Definitely. And plateaus, he says that's not a defect in you. It's often just your body catching up or your metabolism asking for grace. Time for patience.
And what about when old cravings suddenly reappear? Does that mean it's not working anymore?
Not necessarily. He calls that memory. It's an old neural pathway basically asking, hey, do I still matter? But the difference now with this awareness is you can answer it differently. From choice, not from compulsion.
So a setback doesn't mean the medicine failed. It means
It signifies that the story you were telling yourself still needs updating. And he teaches people to approach that moment not with judgment, but with questions. What am I feeling right now? What do I truly need? Who am I choosing to become? It turns failure into inquiry.
that changes everything about how you'd experience a tough day or week.
It really does.
Okay, so wrapping this all together, Dan Hollis's big message seems to be that this kind of healing, it isn't loud or flashy.
No, it's quiet. It's intentional.
It's the slow layering of new choices, new thoughts, and new systems.
All built during that sacred window that semaglutide creates, using that biological pause for real psychological and emotional change.
And ultimately, his teaching isn't about becoming some perfect new you.
Not at all. It's about finally having the space to become yourself. Truly yourself. The principles are empathy over judgment, awareness over rigid rules, and curiosity over punishment. It's a path to finding out what you really need.
So thinking about this, what does it all mean for you listening right now? If you're using semaglutide or maybe thinking about it, this deep dive into Dan Hollis suggests the real prize isn't just the number on the scale.
Right. It's about the window. That space it opens up for self-discovery, for potentially profound change.
Which kind of leaves us with a final thought or maybe a question.
Yeah. If a tool like semaglutide can create this kind of miracle pause from the constant noise, the food chatter, what else might you discover? What new connections, what sense of purpose might emerge when that silence finally lets you hear yourself?
Something to definitely reflect on. We encourage you to keep exploring that for yourself.